Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion, number 243, new GUI Tileset, and I am with Scarhoof as always.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
Excellent. It's a Friday.
Excellent day. It's a Friday, and we got facts.
We got facts. We got them late again this week.
We got them very late. I was about ready to write my own again. But this is definitely better, I think. So, if you guys didn't know, the new GUI, or GUI, however you want to say it, is coming in 0.17. That's one of the main things. And now they kind of go over the tile set and all where they get all their stuff from it and what it's going to kind of look like. So this part's written by Albert, their main GFX guy. So process of the GUI redesign is moving slowly but steadily. By making new mockups, we are rethinking old mechanics, and with the proper feedback from a different range of people, the parts are falling into place. I'm starting to feel very confident with the actual general contrast and font sizes. Also, the conversion from high resolution to normal resolution is working just fine. These subjects are very important to move forward with. So below you can see a demo of the current state of the new GUI. Not all the widgets are shown yet, but this document is helping us a lot in order to define the future elements. Seeing the big picture makes it much easier to tweak them all together with a better coherence and consistency, not to mention for testing any kind of font, specifically non-Latin character sets, a subject that I personally have not paid too much attention to yet. This document is being used also to create the general tile set and see how it behaves in the engine. It's a work in progress, and they're tweaking stuff. Many things will change during the process. Overall, here you can see a sneak peek of the Factorio GUI to come. He wants to also mention that we are actually taking care of the 8% of population who has some sort of color vision problems. This subject is still very new for us, but we are without a doubt researching solutions to different conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
this
actually, I would say that the number of Factorio players that have color vision problems is probably higher than the worldwide average, because it's mostly prevalent in guys, and I don't think it's wrong to say that mostly guys play this game. So yeah.
It's I think you're definitely right. Like, I've seen quite a few discussions about people complaining about the color vision problems, color blindness.
Oh yeah, especially with the what is that thing called, the green aura around the turrets.
Yeah, I mean,
especially on over desert. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not even colorblind, and
it is hard
I can't hardly see that. So this is really good that they are addressing this. So then now we go down into this. So panel title, header 136 pixel bold in high resolution. So this kind of just says, I'm not going to read every single thing, but this kind of is just showing like the size, the font, like the style of the frame. And then many times we won't have space enough in the screen as to show the entire block of info. That's why we will open a frame in the panel and use a scroll to see all the content. They show a little scroll bar here. It's important to use the panel frame and the scroll together because we need an excuse to hide the scrollable content somewhere behind the panel. The next text is just a lorem ipsum demo that shows how the block of text gets behind the panel. So you can see that there.
Mm-hmm. You mean you're not going to read all that Latin text?
I mean, I could try, dude. I can barely read English, all right? I'm dyslexic. If there's no way I'm reading this. I mean, if you want to give it a go.
Maurice nec Lasinia sem. I don't know. My kids actually speak Latin, but I don't. They learned it in school.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll at dinner time sometimes they'll bust out the Latin bits, and my wife and I just kind of stare at each other and then call our kids nerds.
That seems like a reasonable response.
Yep.
So they kind of just show these sliders. This is a variable. This is a full variable, empty variable. So this, just kind of shows what they would look like. Slider buttons. So idle, hover, and press. Editable display, idle, hover, press, release / edit. This blue text is called info text, using the help info overlay. It's just a body text with red, green, blue, and blue panel tile set. It can also be used in normal background like above, always with icon. So, it's just showing a text button, like idle, disabled, hover, and press, which I like this. It looks really clean.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of funny how it goes from idle like a gray to like bright orange when you hover over it, and then it
Yeah.
actually gets less orange. I'm sure there's some sort of like GUI guideline out there that talks about how this is better. I mean, looking at it, they I don't see anything wrong, but like, just noticing that we're going from gray to like bright orange just seems a little interesting. I guess I've never seen, this side of things before. I've only ever used the GUI elements before.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good catch. I would agree that like it doesn't look bad by any means, and like you can look at it and like know what's going on, but like in my mind when I think about it, you would think that the press would be darker than the hover. But I mean, if this is how they want to do it, and I mean, like you said, there's probably some psychological GUI thing that makes it work better or something.
Yeah, it's also interesting that the words are 2 pixels lower, which I guess makes sense though, right? Because if the button is sticking out, then it would seem to us, because of the angle you're looking at the button, that the text would be a slightly higher than when you push down on it.
That's very true. That's a good point. Yeah, so and then there's the dust gradient wrapping the button on the hover state. This dust transforms to glow, which you can kind of tell. This behavior will try to be consistent with all the widgets on the hover, like for instance the technology cards. Confirm buttons, idle, disabled, hover, press, pretty much the same thing, just different colors. The confirm button will be located always at the right side. Its function is to accept and move to the next screen. Back button located always on the left side. That makes sense. That's usually how things are laid out. And then cancel button in red obviously makes sense. Which, okay, now I'm a little, maybe it's just me, but like these colors are throwing me off a little bit. Like because like now it's totally reversed.
Oh yeah,
now, like,
the idle button is not gray.
No, well, yeah, and not only that, idle is dark. Well, not dark, but like very prevalent. Disabled is dark. Hover is light, and then pressive is even lighter. Which, I don't know, for some reason it's just throwing me off.
Well, but if you look at the green and the red, they're kind of the same though. You have the darker green and red, and then you have the lighter hover, and then the even lighter or more muted press.
Yeah, okay, so, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So the confirm and the cancel look like they match, and then the back button maybe matches the text button more.
Okay. Good point. So then checkboxes, unchecked hover press, checked hover press. I really like the look of these and the switches too.
Yeah, they look really nice.
Oh yeah. And then radio buttons, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, my only comment on the radio buttons is they seem kind of small compared to the checkboxes and the switches. I would personally like to see them just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they do seem a bit on the small side.
Yeah, let's beef those radio buttons up.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Woob. We need manly radio buttons.
Yeah, let's do it. So then tabs. This tab system is designed for the options panel. It works inside a frame, and it uses its own background lighter than a normal panel. Any widget should be compatible with this background. The inactive tab texture is the same as a normal button. The only difference with a button are the rounded top corners and the shadow casted by the active button. Looks good. Loading bar looks great.
Yeah, I kind of like the 45% inside the loading bar. It's kind of a cool thing. Although that doesn't match up with, if you scroll back up to the sliders, that doesn't match up with the sliders. So I'm curious.
Oh yeah,
I guess the sliders would be for like world generations, like kind of thing. Whereas the loading bar is mostly for like technology kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it is probably better to have the % in for the loading bar than the sliders. And then this is my favorite part: slots. We use slots only with real items. Those are the interactive ones. You can move them like in the quick bar or the inventory. Idle, hover, press, and then so icon Y minus 2 pixels. These will look really, really nice. Like insanely nice. Am I just being like dumb. What's the like? Why is there like orange, green, and blue here? Like, I mean, it just says filters, but like, I mean,
maybe when they redesigned the GUIs for all of the chests, maybe those chests are going to have different filter colors inside of them.
Yeah, like for your hotbar, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Or I wonder if it's. I wonder if when I first looked at this, I thought maybe they're introducing new types of filters. Like red would say nothing lower than 13. Green would be at least 13 and more, and blue might be, I don't know, something different.
Right.
I mean, you could potentially say like always have no more than 13, always have at least 13, and maybe blue would be get rid of anything except for 13 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll have to see.
That's really interesting. I mean, this is definitely, because as it is now, we certainly don't have the 3 different filter colors.
Mm-hmm. And maybe they're just putting them in there as examples. Maybe they haven't. Yeah, maybe they haven't chosen which color they want to go with. So maybe they just threw a bunch of colors in there. Who knows? Maybe we're reading into this too much.
Yeah, it's always hard
maybe
to tell.
We've discovered new things that are coming down the pipe.
I know, it's always hard to tell, like, because sometimes they do like hint stuff, but then other times we read way too much into it.
Yeah.
But either way, it looks really great. So stickers. The stickers are a representation of an item, but not the item itself. We use them as a reference to the item, like in a recipe, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like the crafting buttons, for example. What's this group? Idle hover press group. And then there's like a box. You see that on the crafting button?
Yeah. Just a thin little like 1 pixel line around the outside.
Yeah, it's like grouping those two together.
Crafting buttons are mainly used in the crafting window, like stickers, but you can press the button. I don't know. Oh, the group, like the button at the top of the. I don't know, maybe. Like you have your different tabs, right? But
right.
You're talking to the tabs.
Huh.
I don't know.
That could be.
Yeah.
And then virtual slot. A slot that contains a virtual item, like, for example, logistics requests. The difference with the sticker is that a virtual slot can be pressed in order to open the filters menu. Interesting.
Yeah. So you press this virtual slot, and then you pop up the filters up top.
So maybe these filters are for, like, logistics stuff or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's pretty cool.
Although, if you notice, there are 3 different colors, and each of those have 3 different variants of them. Half-Life 3 confirmed, boys. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Ubisoft is taking over Half-Life franchise. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. I'll be curious what this turns out to be here. But, yeah, so there's all the GUI stuff. I'm always excited to see this type of stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I even like the little like piano bar kind of things way at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a nice little touch.
Yeah, definitely. So then just this last part's really short. The new office written by Kovarex. The moving to the new office went better than expected, and with the new carpet, it feels cozy. So this is their new office. I believe that's Albert. A board with all kind of stuff. We could probably find all kind of like hints on this board, but I can't. We don't want to spend 20 minutes in this episode looking for them all.
That's right.
And then there's some more pictures here. So this place is actually huge.
Oh yeah, it looks big.
I mean,
although they are definitely using a fisheye. You can see like the warping on that little shelving thing.
Yeah, definitely. So there's that, a little couch. And then they say, but they're currently using approximately 40% of the available space, so there's room for growth if needed. I mean, that's so awesome. This looks pretty big. It would say to me that they're planning to maybe expand the team even more.
Yeah, planning for the future.
Yeah, which is interesting, seeing as how the game is almost going to be done soon. Factorio 2? or Factorio DLC, maybe.
Yep. Well, I mean, this is kind of the stage in developers' life where they're shipping their product. Honestly, they probably have already started thinking about what the future is going to hold for them, because they don't want to wait until they ship it and then deal with the launch and all the the last minute bug fixes and stuff like that, and then say like, okay, now what are we going to do next? You know, like Blizzard, when they, I remember watching a documentary a while ago when Blizzard shipped something, they've already started, by the time they ship a product, they've already started working on the next product, kind of a thing. They already have a team working, so
totally makes sense.
There's a good chance a couple of these guys have already started working on the next big thing.
I'm just looking at this board again. This looks like these are like campaign levels. Notes on this whiteboard.
Yeah, that was that last week, I think, or the week before.
I think it was the week before.
Yeah, but it looks good. So you got level 1, so you explore the crash site, you figure out a basic solution, and then you move on, and then all of a sudden that's when danger appears, and then you learn to escape, kind of thing.
Yep.
I like it. It looks pretty simple.
Yeah, very cool. So those are Friday Facts. Awesome. I really look forward to the GUI in 0.17 and all this other cool stuff. But I think that's going to do it. You got anything else?
Nope. Can't wait to see this all in game, though.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Then that's going to do it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts down below, as always. And until next time, we will see you later.